Nothing.
Dave doesn't have strong opinions of games.
That's true. Lukewarm at best.
I should probably monitor the chat to see what Randall.
Oh, I love that guy. Shout out to Randall.
Hey Randall. Dave. Let's just drop from the call.
Oops. Did I kill him? I was trying to make his head not take up my entire screen because that was off-putting.
Pretty sure you can't hang up.
Okay.
I mean,
You can in real life.
You
so.
can't hang someone up. You can hang up on him. Now your camera's gone and David's gone.
Okay, bye guys.
That'll be Dave. Oh, my Mac died. I'm on Mac. Ah, no. Invite me back in. All games. Buy a Big Mac. Buy a Big Mac. Let's go.
Bye, Big Mac.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Counter Strike, bro. Go buy a Big Mac. Big Mac OP.
Cool.
So now that Ben doesn't have his camera, my boxes are going to be
Oh.
wrong.
Wait, my camera's gone? Oh.
There we go. You're very close to your camera, by the way.
Dave or me?
If you log onto our Twitch stream, you'll be able to see how close to the camera you are.
Yeah, Dave's pretty close.
Dave's not close, you are.
Oh, no, Dave's super close to my screen. On my
Oh, he is
camera,
now.
I'm in the middle.
I'm trying to do two things at once. And maybe this is the
How do I
bad
make
idea.
Dave not everything?
I am your everything, Ben.
Dave is everything.
Yes, everything. It's just, I don't know, in Windows 10, it's like forced him to become as big as the window of Skype. So Dave is very...
Are you still using the app
renting.
version of
No,
Skype?
no, it cannibalized my desktop version. Now when I open the desktop version, it's like, hi, the latest version of Skype is Windows 10. Please use it. And then opens the app. So, we're gonna try that, I guess.
Wow.
Are you waving to someone, Dave?
No, I'm trying to get rid of this
Really?
little...
You look pretty
This
professional
little
for
beam of
someone that's
light.
unemployed. You're cleanly shaven. Your beard
I've
is
got a
nice and
beard,
trimmed.
dude.
Oh, not cleanly shaven. What's the word?
Yeah, I was
Tidied
gonna
up?
say.
Trimmed?
I don't know,
Your
but
beard's
not
trimmed.
cleanly shaven. It's accidental, I promise.
Who sets the uniform policy?
Me.
Who gives you
I must have had my annual shower this morning.
your annual shower?
Well done. I hear that's difficult because you live so far from the Oasis.
Check out my new land.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Is there a way like you can make the
Upgraded.
light explode if you like put too much electricity? Does it explode into sparks like when he dies in the game?
Are
pretty
you ready
cool.
to record?
Oh, like that. Yes.
Just about.
For those of you playing at home, this isn't a pre-recording. Actually, just this bad at this.
If he dies in the game, he dies in the
real
game.
life. I mean, in the game.
At least give out your ID so they can join your game, Tim.
Oh, I mean a competitive match. They can't join. Alright. Audacity.
I'm doing
guys ready?
pencil sharpener simulator.
Yep, let me know when to hit it.
Dave.
Yep.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Test. Done.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, hang on, wait, my Audacity's not working.
Your destiny's
Good
not
thing we
working.
tested.
You're not
Probably not.
Dave.
That's probably why the sequel won't succeed.
You're not.
Hello, testing. Oh, now it's working. All right, there we go.
So do
All
we
right,
need to
let's
start again.
Go again on. Yeah, another 3.
Ah.
Hit me with another
I'll
3.
Give Dave a second. Ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
Alright. 1, 2, 3. Then we are
There
on
we go.
Test.
episode 47.
Excellent. Congrats on making it this far, Randall.
Like, I don't even know if Randall's watching.
Congrats on making it
Wow.
this far, phantom audience who is not watching us live.
That sucks if we've lost our fan.
And he was a good fan.
What's even the point?
We'll all change our Facebook profile pics to some.
To Randall.
Yep.
Right.
To mourn the loss of the Rams fan.
Hero, hero.
So is this going to be the podcast or?
Sorry?
Oh, am I introducing? Because you're playing the game?
Ben and I responding to the audio of.
Alright! Ready? Was it 47?
47.
Alright.
Well, that's the other thing that happened is Destiny, by the way.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah. I guess the PC version's kind of interesting. Alright, let's get going. Ready? Set. Hi, and welcome to episode 47 of another Dungeon Podcast. I'm your host, Ben, and this week I am joined by...
You gonna...
the ever-stunned Dave.
How am I supposed to know it's me?
That was a very obvious cue in. This is Dave.
Well, I can't tell who you're looking at. It's
That's true.
Image.
It's webcam.
You've got
And Dave...
You've got two guests. You can't just wait for one of them to introduce himself.
Sorry, I thought you guys were following my lead. All right, so we have Dave tonight, and he is joined by his beautiful co-host, Tim, the Pato Patterson.
Hello.
Yeah,
who is
maybe
usually
don't
the
call
host of
me
this
Tim
show.
the Pato.
The Pato.
It really doesn't sound great.
What?
All right. Clearly, Pato has another definition that I'm not aware of, besides backyard deck. Like when you have a huge deck.
So,
Oh, that's... Yep.
I was running
So this week...
I was running with the name Potato for a while because apparently Americans can't say Pato, so they kept calling me Potato.
Really?
I like that name. Lethal Potato was
Potato.
a great
Yeah.
name.
Because the retards in America couldn't. Anyway.
So that's the origin of Tim. So that's a pretty interesting fact
That's
we've
my
already
origin
learned this week
story.
in this interesting podcast that we have here.
Next time we'll talk
But
about
we're gonna
Pato
open
Brown.
the show. We're gonna open the show with our usual regular segment that we never ever forget. That doesn't have a name, but let's call it what we've been playing. So guys, does one of you let me name one of you so you know who's next. Let's go, Dave. Dave, do you want to tell
Yes,
me
Ben.
what you've been playing lately?
I have been playing a little puzzle game called Human Resource Machine.
Oh yes.
I'm a little bit late to the party. It's by the guys that made World of Goo, and I've forgotten the name of the other game they made, but everyone knows World of Goo. And it's a little so it's a puzzle game. It's out on PC and phone, and
Switch.
What are you playing
Oh,
on?
yes, and
PC or
Switch.
phone?
Phone. I actually compared the Switch version and the phone version, but the phone version was half the price. And I did a bit of research and found that there was next to no difference. The Switch version has the ability to listen to the soundtrack from the menu, and it stops playing when you leave the menu. So
For that authentic 1990s sound test menu feel.
yep. And I just thought, yeah, that's not for me. But basically, look, it's a really fun little game that's surprisingly tricky.
What's the gameplay? Because I've seen the screenshot you posted, and it was hard to picture. Sorry, it's hard to get a picture of what the actual gameplay is.
Yeah. So what it is it's basically it's using programming to control what your guys are doing on screen, which is in essence what every single puzzle game's about anyway. So you have on the left-hand side of the screen is an inbox, and along the inbox will come in a certain number of little boxes with numbers and letters, and on the right-hand screen is an outbox. And your little office worker dude can carry one box at any one time. So in each level, your boss basically gives you a task like, all right, a very simple one. Take everything from the inbox and put it into the outbox. So you've got a command inbox, which makes him pick up from whatever's in the inbox, and then you do the command outbox, which puts it in the outbox, and then you've got a jump command, which is like if you ever programmed in Logo or anything like that, is like the go-to command. So you just go inbox, outbox, go to the start, and then you hit play, and the little guy goes and he gets the thing out of the inbox and he takes it over to the outbox, and then he goes to the inbox, and when he finishes, that's the level done.
Oh, cool.
But as you go on, it gets more and more complex. You start off just having those two commands, inbox and outbox, but shortly you get jump, jump if 0, jump if negative. You can store numbers on the floor, so you can like pick up the first number, put it in the spot on the floor, like temporary storage. And I won't go into too much detail because it'll make it sound really boring. The trick of it is, it's a puzzle.
Sounds very boring.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. The trick of it is, it's a puzzle game, and you don't need to know programming in order to enjoy it. It teaches you everything you need to know, and it's very rudimentary programming. However, interestingly, the way you're programming and what you're doing is very realistic to actual processing as well. So it's a lot of.
Is there a list of commands or it teaches commands as you progress through the levels, or?
Yeah, so at the start you've just got inbox and outbox. So you've got 3 things in the inbox. Your commands to solve that one are inbox, outbox, inbox, outbox, inbox, outbox. Then you get jump. And it basically teaches you by saying you're going to have between 5 and 10 things in your inbox.
So by like the 10th level, you've got your commands and stuff for you to actually do the solve.
Yeah, not quite one skill per level, because there's a few different applications of the same thing, especially when you have to start dividing numbers, multiplying greater than less than. Well, if you know how to divide by using only add and sum, you can do all sorts of things. But yeah, it starts out nice and slow and easy. The problem I have is I'm at the last level now, and there are a few optional. So every level, there's completing the normal level, then there's an optional branch off to the side. Every so often in the level progression, you can branch off and do some optional, tougher variants. And then you can also do a speed run and a something else. I forgot what it is. You got to do it within a certain number of steps. Oh yeah, and within a certain number of commands to get all the extra things like the extra stars and all that sort of thing. I'm near the end of the main progression path, and probably about 4 levels away from finishing all the optional extras. But the problem I'm having now is I almost need a pencil and paper to plan out how I'm going to solve a level now. So instead of being the quick, first time you play, you get stuck playing it for half an hour and you do 4 or 5 levels or 10 levels or whatever. Now I can spend half an hour to an hour on it, and I'm trying to get 1 level done.
Is it still fun? Or is it diminishing fun?
At the high level, it's challenging and rewarding. I wouldn't call it fun. I'm enjoying it, but it's not something where I'm sitting there going, solving this problem is really fun.
So how far would I get into it not really enjoying programming?
Well, you don't have to enjoy programming. You have to enjoy problem solving.
Logic.
Because it's using the same logic that you use to solve problems. You'd probably make it about halfway through, I reckon, before it starts using maths concepts and stuff to solve the problems, and you might.
This is sounding like work and not a game. Well,
that's why it takes place in an office. It's an office simulator with programming.
I like Professor Layton and stuff, but
no, it's definitely a heavier game.
Yeah, so the level of puzzle sounds like not enjoyable for me, but I'm sure there's.
Yeah, I think it's the kind of thing that doesn't appeal to everyone.
Yeah.
I think there are people that really love the logic of programming. Like, I've got friends that'll sit down there and they'll like type out programming, and that's their way of processing a day, and that's their way of having spare time to think for themselves. It's nutting out some code. that's my biggest fear and nightmare. I cannot deal with programming, because my brain is more of the creative, whatever left side, whatever things they tell you. But yeah, but I think it's cool to see that kind of gameplay.
Yeah, you're in that tricky area where you've got all the ideas and stuff, but
yeah, I kind of
like trying to be a video game designer.
Exactly.
Right.
It didn't help.
Someone help me program this.
Yeah, it didn't help that my video game course, the programmer completely stuffed up how we were taught and everything. So that was a disaster. Yeah, that's not worth going through in a podcast.
Yeah, but maybe we'll need a whole podcast.
Yeah, my sad, tragic backstory, how I got my name, Programming Potato. But yeah, I think it's cool to see those elements of, like, it's kind of a meta gameplay, because obviously games require programming. I played one game called The Magic Circle, and the idea of that was you would rip logic out of enemies and put them into other enemies to make them do your bidding. So if there's an enemy that can attack or an enemy that's on fire, you would rip that kind of verb or programming code and put it into the programming of another enemy. And it was really cool because it made sense in the logic of the game being a game about games to have programming as a gameplay element. And it's kind of interesting when they experiment with stuff like that.
Well, the interesting thing about that is always that, I mean, it's a little more transparent in Human Resource Machine, obviously. But with stuff like that, it's quite often something that is just a normal mechanic that's in a game. It's just it's making it less transparent, like the same sort of thing with. But with stuff like that, it's quite often something that analogy's not going to work. So I'll stop that right there. Carry on.
Just like that
as you were. Yeah. It's just like
so,
that. It's not like so. Oh yeah.
So it sounds like fun. Tim, what game have you been playing lately?
You liar.
Games.
You've just said you're not into programming, and you just said that sounds like fun.
He's just doing the
No, I'm sorry.
The conversation.
I'm trying to move forward. But to clarify, that company that makes that game, I am interested in, because they have another game that's about burning orphans' toys. I don't really understand.
That's the other one.
Every time I try and look at footage, Little Inferno or something.
That's it.
I don't know what's fun about setting fire to your most beloved possessions. And I've always wanted to play it to know exactly what the gameplay element is. They have an interesting take to, this doesn't look like gameplay, let's make a game out of it, I think.
Oh, you haven't played it?
No.
Cool.
So
Tim, what have you been playing?
It's been a few weeks, and a few things have come out. So the first thing I'll say is I've been playing Prey. Did we go through this last time?
No, but I'm keen to hear what you think.
We've been meaning to do a podcast on Prey for 2 weeks, and we haven't.
Yeah, so Prey is really good. I guess I wasn't. Well, I'm gonna lead to another topic. I'm not a fan that they've used the name Prey. Prey 2 was going to be a completely different game, like you know, Prey. And then they canned it, and then this is a reimagining, I guess.
Of the first Prey, is it?
I think but it's the storyline is different, so I'm not quite sure how. Anyway, BioShock in Space is a good example of how to explain how Prey plays. You can play stealth, can play, full on running the clip. The smaller mimic enemies probably keep you entertained for the first quarter of the game.
So what do they do?
So they're not pre-programmed to do anything. They make a decision on the fly to fight or flight, and if they fight, they can turn into any object. So if you walk into a room,
the game.
If you walk into a room and you see two stools next to each other, and you think, well, that's a bit weird. One of them could be a mimic.
Cool.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
It creates a lot of tension, especially early on when you've got not many weapons. And then I think they do a good job of kind of backing off, introducing new enemies, and then introducing the mimics later on when you start to feel safe. One thing I will say is the soundtrack is not not overbearing. It's kind of subtle, but it's really anxiety-inducing.
Oh, cool.
In a really good way. So, you know, you spend a lot of time by yourself, sneaking around, going through different missions. There's a lot of missions like side quests and stuff. But the soundtrack creates such a really intense atmosphere in the right spots. Music's not always due to say that there's a mimic in the room, but yeah, they do a good job of making you kind of on edge all the time.
Okay.
Which I thought
So what's the story? Is it the same story as the first one?
No, the story.
The Venom got loose in a space station? Is
So-
that the story?
It's kind of hard to do it without spoilers. Have you seen the
Right.
introduction to the game yet?
No.
Okay.
But if it's
It's
the
all like-
introduction,
so
you're
we'll
not really
minute of
spoiling
footage.
much.
We'll skip over it. Basically, you're on a space station. You have been conducting experiments with aliens you guys have found and trying to introduce their deal. You know,
Classic sci-fi mistake.
classic
Yep.
sci-fi. You know, they escape. They start roaming around.
The classic blunder.
And then so they're called Typhon as generally speaking. The mimics, start drowning people. Drowning their life. Yeah. The story is to see, because it branches off. So basically, your two choices are scuttle the space station or brother wanted to do.
This is a
Pick up
terrible
the kids
story,
from
dude.
School.
Basically, you meet a few
Is it
people
one
on the
So it's
way.
very different because the start of Prey, you started in, I think it was a tavern or something, and you get
Yeah.
sucked into space,
Nah.
and your whole thing is you're this Indian guy
So-
surviving. Do you still get to get guns and merge them and have these augmented alien weapons? Because that was the really cool thing about Prey.
No. So you start with a wrench,
Oh.
then you get a glue gun, which
They
is
think you are Gordon Freeman.
well, it's a space
Ah.
wrench. That makes
The glue gun looked cool. In
It
the
is
footage
cool.
I saw, the glue gun could be used as platforms. Like, it was making use of environment and
is,
the
it
logic of the weapon you had.
So that's the thing, is the areas are so open that if you wanted to scale, say there's an open mezzanine and you wanted to get to the second floor, you can't find stairs. You just shoot glue onto the wall and come up that. So you can create your own paths, which opens up different options for you. There are sci-fi type guns, on the ship, but it's not like alien. Because all the aliens I've come across so far either punch you or they have psychic abilities. So, they're not using it.
That's disappointing.
Not really.
Have they done a good job of the game? Is it fun?
The game itself is
To
fun. I
repeat
think
your
that
question.
the only off-putting thing is that they've reused the name, so you come with a few. It would have stood by itself fine.
Would you have played it if it didn't have the name Prey?
Yeah, well, I was
Would you
actually
have known about it?
I wasn't going to play it to start with until I watched the opening half hour.
Okay.
And yeah, you
I wonder why
find
they made that decision. That's a strange
who knows.
strange shift.
It's more enjoyable than Dishonored 2, which was also arcane. Yeah,
That's sitting
it's
up.
they dribble the story through kind of at a good pace. So you've lost your memory at the start, and you start finding information out, and you've got to figure out.
Wow, that's an original concept.
Well, yeah, it's not. It's not.
Do you
it's
at one
done-
point stand in front of the mirror and look in the mirror and wonder why your eye is so bloodshot? Is that a key scene in the game?
I think that was just. I don't remember.
That was
looking
just
in
the
mirror.
announcement trailer that had
Yeah.
nothing to do with the game?
It
Okay.
does have something to do with the game. Like it fits in. It fits in with the story. Yeah.
Mm.
So,
Well,
Right.
that'll be when you realise that you've injected yourself with alien DNA, right?
yeah. So
The experiment we were doing worked and had negative results.
Well, the use case for it was you inject neuromods from the world's smartest people, and I am now. I don't have to learn. So that was the initial study of neuromods. You went alien with the one. So I would recommend it though. It's a good game. It's taken me quite a while at the moment. I mean, I'm kind of taking my time and exploring. There are, rewards to exploring, which is good. But yeah, that's definitely a play from me. I've also been playing The Surge, which is from the guys that made Lords of the Fallen, being described as sci-fi Dark Souls. So that's doing Dark Souls justice. It's
Have you guys noticed that many games are being described as the Dark Souls of something?
And it's
Dark
not
Souls
like
is a
Dark
genre
Souls.
now.
It's not. It wasn't even.
But none
like
of them
the first
are.
difficult game.
Yeah, I know.
Difficult games have existed before. Just for some reason, it's taken the community.
Well, I think Dark Souls brought the idea of dying and then going back to the point where you died.
But you see,
No, they didn't. Loads of games did that.
the thing with Dark Souls, and I think they did well, was tied it into the story. Like it's part of the lore. The reason.
Yeah, true.
It's not just he's a cool mechanic. Which Lords of the Fallen was like. There's no reason for you to rebirth and have your ghost sitting somewhere that is convenient for no reason.
Yeah, that was one of the things that kept me going back to Dark Souls, despite it kicking my ass, was all the story that there was to find out. There was just so much lore in that thing. And for any game to be the Dark Souls of anything, it wants to have so much lore, both in and, read about on wiki pages.
Yeah.
Well, The Surge doesn't do that. It's very much just blatantly tells you. There's not like, you don't read items and go, oh, that was interesting to learn about the world. There's audio logs, there's cutscene, and there's just like electronic billboards.
Oh, so it's the Doom 3 of science fiction.
It doesn't quite play as well. Like the movement isn't as good, the dodging isn't as good.
Yeah, well, that's where Dark Souls shines, is the refining of the mechanics.
And look, the first one wasn't perfect. It was well, even Demon Souls.
Especially not the PC version.
I was going to say the first one was Demon Souls, wasn't it?
Yeah, which I wish they would remake.
Why don't you just replay it on the 3?
Because that means unpacking 3, finding. Look,
Tim's a one generation man.
I am going back to The Surge, not every day, so wait till it's on sale if you like that kind of game. It's not like anything overly compelling.
Hey, The Surge got you to stop playing Mass Effect Andromeda, so there must be something in its favor.
I actually went back to Mass Effect and played for an hour. It's interesting.
I saw it on Xbox One and PS4 for $30 in
really
Big W.
already.
Wow.
Yep, already it's at $30.
I'd nearly
on
buy
sale,
it for that price.
So
at 30. I nearly did as well, but I'd already bought Dishonored 2 for 20, so I thought,
okay,
let's play that first.
Yeah,
the interesting thing is that the interesting thing is, people keep saying, "Oh, that patches the facial animations are better," but that's not the core problem with Andromeda. Like, patches won't fix the story.
Problem is the story in the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Old games used to have terrible animations, and some of my favorite games still have shitty animations. It's not that makes a good game.
No.
At the risk of sounding like one of those douchebags, it really is about gameplay first. And the special effects and stuff can make for a nice experience, but they don't make for a good game.
And look,
Absolutely.
I guess the surge of indie games proves that. Although I'm not a fan of similar. but they can bring
Talking the 8 or 16-bit
yeah,
style.
but they can bring.
Yeah.
The new thing is low poly. Everything is low poly now because it's easy.
Well, that's the thing. I played
But it's not that hard to make it better or expensive. So it's a design choice.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you've
when
got
it's
the
a
money,
design
you can
choice.
outsource it pretty. You can outsource pretty easy and get that. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. I made a 16-bit game, so I'll shut up.
Played a little bit of Party Hard, which I've had for a
Oh
while.
gosh, how many games have you played? Yep.
That's really
It's been
difficult.
2 weeks. I didn't realize we were going through everything we played. I thought we were.
Yeah,
you know,
you picked
one.
one that was a gem.
A
Next,
gem.
I got to talk about Wonder Boy and the Dragons thingy, and I could have talked about Mario.
Well, I'm
Kart.
going to talk about
Hey.
all the MMOs I played for 30 seconds
Oh,
this week.
speaking of Mario Kart and the Switch,
Yeah.
the Switch has got no game. Looking at the release schedule,
Oh, there's ARMS in a month. That's it.
I don't want arms though.
don't
I don't
want
care.
arms.
Really?
yeah.
I'm so excited for ARMS.
Everything else is a re-release of something else. I didn't notice that the other day. I was sort of looking through and a bit disheartened by the amount of. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff I've already got.
So the interesting thing, one of my friends got a Switch who didn't get a Wii or a Wii U. He's loving Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
Whereas I played Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, and it was good to play a few matches with my girlfriend. But like, if it wasn't cheaper on the release, I'd probably like it. Especially because there's nothing.
Actually,
fun
that's a.
not.
Well, yeah. See, I'm playing it with my kids, so I'm rediscovering. Like that. That's a lot of fun to me. We only ever play, it seems now, that Cops and Robbers game, which is loads of fun.
Yeah, that
But one
mode's
thing I
great.
noticed recently was I jumped on the shop to look at Super Bomberman to see if it was cheaper, because it was $69 when I first looked at getting it, and then I read a few bad reviews and I thought, nah, I can hold off on buying that game again. Now it's up at $89, and a lot of the games are $89 to $99 now. And it's the same in the shops. It's a ridiculous price point. Bloody,
Yeah.
what is it? Tetris and something else
Oh,
is an
yeah,
$89 game. Yeah.
Well, the
Who's
thing is,
spending that
yeah,
much money on Tetris?
like the Puyo Puyo series has a weirdly big fandom because it's got like anime component to it. I don't even pretend to understand it. They had a really good GameCube game and everyone latched on praising it. But the thing is, like, how do you judge a puzzle game? Like Tetris is just Tetris, and then they bolt another puzzle game on. They're very well made games. How do you release that as a company alongside other games? I guess we're used to indie games and puzzle games being a bit smaller. But like if this game came out in the GameCube era or before that, it would have been full price shovelware like it is now, I guess.
Full price what?
Yeah, but who's paying for it now? Tetris is an old game.
It's
not-
got
I
cute
don't
anime
know.
girls you can play. And you play Tetris versus Puyo Puyo.
Is
And you
it-
send Puyo Puyos to the Tetris, and you send Tetrons to the Puyo Puyos.
That's what I thought.
That
I don't know.
actually sounds.
It's-
That actually sounds interesting.
It's
If
new.
it-
Download the
There's
demo.
some-
You can
I
play.
have,
You can
yeah.
play full multiplayer matches in the demo. It's kind of fun.
yeah.
That's
That's the one really big thing that the Switch has going for it. They seem to have demos of so many of their games.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it. But anyway, sorry. Yes, you were playing.
That's
yeah.
right. Ben told me
Switch
to
has
stop
nothing.
saying what I've been playing.
No, but then you were saying that the Switch has no game.
Well, it
he
doesn't.
says that every. That's his catchphrase.
Well, because it's true. Every podcast.
No, yeah.
Apart from Zelda,
Yeah.
like nothing's been compelling.
Yeah, I think the Switch released early for Zelda.
Yeah.
And it is gonna struggle with that. However, it's still selling crazy. Like, it's still selling out across the world. Mario Kart 8 is the fastest. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the fastest selling kart game or racer game of all time, even better than the Wii U version. So people that never played
That's
the Wii U are
ridiculous.
sticking to the Switch. A bunch
Yeah.
of people just skipped the Wii U and have come back to Nintendo, and they're loving it. I got a mate. He's in the army. Big guy. He loves the Switch. He thinks the idea of portability is amazing. He's not the kind of gamer to be big on Nintendo in the past. Just it's got concepts people really like, and Nintendo have to deliver at E3. I think that'll be a big deciding factor. Oh well, not really, because they've got a Mario 3D platformer coming out at the end of the year. That'll sell really well, regardless
Yeah, but
of what
the
they
gaming
do.
community, dude.
Yeah,
That's
the problem. It'll be journalists and people. Yeah.
So
Journalists and people. Yeah, curse those customers. But I think the problem that they've got is that if they've only got Nintendo titles coming out on their console, then they're not going to encourage further sales of the console itself, which was where the Wii U fell down in the first place. They need
However,
every game that comes out on Xbox One and PS4 needs to be coming out on the Switch as well, because people like me will buy it I'll buy on PC first, then I'll buy on Switch. Failing that, I'll buy on one of the other consoles.
Yeah.
more
I
and
think
more
the Western
companies-
market's going to be hard to attract.
Yeah, more and more companies
sorry.
have said that they're not, with a lot of new releases. No, I don't.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's damaging to Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's the hurdle they needed to overcome.
And
Having
with all
great
the-
tech is one thing, but
Yeah.
if you don't have people
However-
developing mainstream games,
However, the Japanese market is loving the Switch, and a lot of Japanese games are coming across to the Switch. There's a One Piece game coming across. There's the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Square Enix is putting together a bunch of things behind the scenes.
I thought you were going to say something relevant.
No, well, but here's the thing, right? If these big games are coming,
he said Square Enix now, and he said something else, which was one of your other topics. See, building up
Ubisoft have
the
a
segue.
unique game in development.
That's what I was
for the
trying to
Switch.
lead into.
All right.
And keeps going back to how good the Switch is selling with one game.
Yeah.
but that's my argument. I don't think the Switch is going to sell based on exclusives. It needs to be selling cross platforms as well. Exclusives alone won't cut the mustard.
It doesn't have the strength to sell cross platforms. I know it's not the most powerful console.
Powerful enough.
Is it though? Because we haven't seen it get challenged. Like you haven't seen it running, an Unreal 4 engine even though it's capable of it. I don't know what.
It hasn't quite got the titles that have been fully developed for its abilities yet.
Yeah, so
Because
I mean,
Zelda, which was incredible, was a Wii U, and that was barely pushing the Switch's stuff.
well, the frame rate issues.
I never had those.
No.
Yeah, speaking of third parties coming together, Ben probably knows a little bit more about this than I do because I saw it and then I thought, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, so this week I worked in a special needs school all day. It was a pretty full-on job. I saw a lot of things. But the craziest thing I saw all week was the rumors that a Mario and Rabbids game is coming to the Switch. David's Raving Rabbits.
Dave and David.
The franchise that killed Rayman is crossing over with Super Mario. Ubisoft were allowed to use the Mario license, and this game has been leaked. The pitch of the game is it's an XCOM strategy RPG style game.
You weren't joking when you said XCOM.
No, I'm not joking. This is the proposed gameplay. It's a strategy RPG game. There's an overworld exploration section, but then you go into combat. It's like XCOM. You're controlling a selection of Mario characters and these like cosplaying rabbit people that dress up like the Mario characters. They all have guns like that shoot lasers and look like bullet bills and stuff. And they're fighting the rabbit invasion that's taken over the Mushroom Kingdom.
It was Mario.
Hopefully,
Luigi,
Mario's more successful than Rayman.
It was Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad, I think. And the rabbit characters are just dressed up in those costumes.
Yeah, but I think the idea will be that rabbits have different personalities. If Mario characters have differing personalities.
Is it just me, or does anyone else see the really strong correlations between minions and rabbits?
Yes,
Rabbits
that's
were
why I
first.
hate them.
Rabbits were
Yeah.
Rabbits are first. Yeah.
Well, rabbits were first, but I mean,
Well, they're
even
both like,
there was the rabbits that go psycho in Despicable Me 2. There's
Rabbits
the
are
minions
first.
that go purple and psycho.
rabbits.
Yeah. Rabbits, yeah. So the
Rabbits
rabbits
are
is
alive.
weird. I don't know if you guys know how weird the rabbit franchise is. Rayman 3 was pitched as not Rayman 3, Rayman 4 was pitched as a proper Rayman game, 3D platformer. The idea was instead of zombies, these crazy rabbits would pop out of the ground and Rayman would fight them. And that idea kept evolving, so they were crazy and had different costumes. Then they dumped that idea when they saw the Wii and made it a party game to make use of the Wii waggle controls. That became really popular because it was the only Wii game at launch. So they're like, oh, people like this. They kept making the game. They made like 5 sequels, right?
And mobile spin-offs, let's not forget all those.
And they dropped Rayman. A bunch of Rayman games were cancelled in favor of the stupid rabbits. They got their own TV series. They've even had a game called like Rabbids Go Home, and they still haven't gone home. They're a bit like the Madden brothers hanging around Australian Idol.
It sounds like you're really healthy about rabbits and Rayman.
I hate them. They were going to do this really dark horror game with the Rabbids, and there's a bunch of concept art of them being like invading Earth and being terrifying. That evolved into them being like lizard reptile people, and then they became zombies again, and that was the basis for Zombie U, the zombie game that came out on the Wii U. That was originally Rabbids game. And now they've invaded the Mushroom Kingdom. This game sounds super weird. The art looks pretty vanilla in the leaked art stuff.
Sorry.
Nintendo obviously given restrictions to Ubisoft.
How
Yes?
XCOM was the plan? Because XCOM's are pretty complex. Permadeath.
I'm pretty sure you'll have lots of actions on the field you can do. For instance, there'll be a warp zone, and I think you'll be able to move like characters to the warp zone as like a tactical coverage. Go down the warp zone, pop up the warp zone somewhere in the field, and take
Who's
turns.
developing this?
Yes.
Ubisoft. It's
Okay,
Ubisoft.
then I have
so
no
you-
faith. I have no
Yeah.
faith that they will do it well.
Wait,
If
so-
Mario were doing it, seeing the early
Nintendo?
Mario
Did you
RPGs,
say Mario?
I
Yeah.
could.
Is Mario himself going
Nintendo.
to make
Mario's
Mario-
making his own game.
He's
Mario-
giving up on
WarioWare
it.
style.
No. If Nintendo were doing it, I'd have a bit of faith that they can do it well. Because seeing what they did to turn-based RPG,
Oh yeah.
with the early Mario and Luigi RPG games, like
Green stickers
that
up.
was
No.
This is
Mario and
the
Luigi
start.
Superstar Saga.
Travelers in Time. What was
Yeah,
the
Partners
other
in Time. Partners in Time.
Partners in Time.
Bowser's Inside Story.
one?
The
Oh,
very
that was
first time we went inside Bowser's Gizzards.
Yeah. Anyway, if they go that kind of route, I'm kind of looking forward to what they do, because I think there's room for a isometric turn-based strategy game that encompasses a bit of that lighter side action-based combat.
Yeah.
I think that could work really well. But Rabbids are dumb and Ubisoft fuck everything they touch, so
Yeah.
I'm not confident they're going to do it right. I feel
Yeah.
they like Rabbids a lot more than any of their customers do, and it feels
Yeah.
like they're just always pushing them more than they should really be pushing them.
Mm.
And Rayman,
Well,
is-
it's like
Minions.
all that out of all that spawned Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because a
This-
Rayman
this-
3D platformer was going a bad route.
This goes out to our beloved Andy, who is the world's biggest Rayman fan. Andy, if you're out there listening, I'm sorry I posted a status about Trump one time. Can we please be friends again? Rayman is a good game
I
franchise.
think Andy's I think the love affair, not with you and Andy, with Andy and Ray, may be over because they let
Oh, no.
the 25th
Because of
anniversary go
rabbits?
past nothing.
Oh yeah, that's
Nothing.
pretty brutal.
Not
one
even a
cares about that.
birthday cake.
Armless
No.
French man.
The birthday cake. How do you know they could have one at the Ubisoft office?
Rayman's not real.
Maybe it's a private party. Maybe they have an employee called Rayman, and they get some cake.
Get back to you guys.
Now, I have two final statements on this topic. My first
What was the
statement,
topic
which is
again?
more of a question, Rayman Raving Rabbits.
Oh,
Would you
yeah.
rather play this game, or would you rather play Mushroom Creed?
Hmm.
Hmm.
So are we talking all
This game.
Nintendo, Ubisoft crossovers?
Yeah, if you had to cross over a Ubisoft franchise with a Nintendo
What
franchise,
about
what would
Far
it
Cry,
be?
Raving
South Park
Rabbits?
Metroid for Zelda.
I want to see the rabbits
Can you
as
use
like
an-
cocaine drug lord.
Can you use an Animus to go back in time before the Animus was created?
and stop
And
the Assassin's Creed
relive
franchise.
No, and start a decent Rayman franchise.
All right. Oh, that would be a fun game. like Ubisoft is just straight up Asperger or whatever the company's called. That'd be fun.
They make a game where you can go back in time and change the course of their own company.
Oh man, save Ubisoft. Stop them getting Aisha, what's her face, to host the awkward E3 presentations.
So alongside
I'm a big fan of real time. It's not even real time.
Not real time.
strategy.
XCOM is not real time.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I'm a big fan of XCOM anyway, so seeing someone else of that sort of pedigree into the genre, I find quite exciting, but I'm a bit nervous with it being Ubisoft.
Well, I think the one good feature it will include is it has local co-op to the game. So that'll be fun, even if the game sucks to play with the kids. You wouldn't play that with your kids?
No.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's fun. Even if the game's bad, you and a mate can shoot some rabbits. Straight and easy because there's 2 controllers built into the console. That's a good feature. All Switch games should have co-op going forward, I think.
Makes sense. Like that. I think local co-op has kind of been moved away a lot.
I think that's the big selling point of the Switch against like the games that can't support.
As everybody else is pushing for power 60 frames a second, they have to
4K.
drop things like let's make co-op. So that is the Switch's strength for me. They need to capitalize. But
See, that's a Nintendo strength though, because that's always been their direction with all their games. Is that experience?
I think it's important. I think I have friends over and we go to play the PS4 and there's nothing to play on it, and we default to the Nintendo game because
You play that game with the arrows, Towerfall Ascension.
yeah, that's good.
That's the
It's an
only
indie
PS4 game you
it's a
need. That's it.
multi-platform indie game.
You can
and it's not
spend an
very good.
entire weekend playing that awesome game.
Okay.
You can.
You're wrong. It is good.
Alienation was just free too. You could play that.
Alright, I will look at what my free indie cross-platform indie games are and dedicate my PS4 to those.
But alongside
See,
with
for
this,
me, it's the same thing, but with kids. Sorry,
Yeah.
go on, Tim.
I'm trying to change the subject. Along with this announcement of this Nintendo Rabbids crossover, Ubisoft also had their earnings call, which they obviously tell their shareholders what's coming. So, what are we, a month out from E3, we've learned that Far Cry 5...
Young Good and Evil 2?
Far Cry 5 is confirmed, its location is confirmed. The Crew 2...
Alright, drum roll. You gotta say where it's set.
You're the one that knows where it's at.
Oh. Do you not
The
know?
moon!
Uh, Close.
Oh.
We're going to colonial times! It's about cults and religion and George Washington.
Colonial as in,
And- Like, everyone's wearing bloomers,
Civil
there's
War.
cannons and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, man,
interesting.
we already did that in Maniac Mansion.
But Bioshock, yeah.
It's been done.
We could never revisit that time period.
All I
Sorry,
have
no.
Maniac Mansion did it. We can't ever go to the future. We can't ever go to the third one that I don't remember.
all I'm
Prison.
hoping for is that they have got like 40. That.
I hope he can play as Benjamin Franklin, and he's like
What
some kind of
about-
lightning god.
What about
Badass assassin, yep.
Benjamin Franklin
You've got-
and Abraham Lincoln together? Just line up.
It's fun. And they can
With
do like
an
a combo
over-the-top
move where Benjamin
steampunk,
Franklin goes on his shoulders.
I just like the idea of Abraham Lincoln's over-the-top steampunk assassin blade hat.
Yes.
Assassin's Blade.
Yeah.
See, you know how Assassin's Creed kept introducing a new blade every time they did a game? I thought when they did the England one, for sure the hat was going to be in the top hat. The blade was going to be in the top hat. I
Yeah.
thought they were going to go down that route, and very disappointed that it was like a I don't even know what the blade was. It was like a boomerang.
All right, let me
or-
ask you this. What was the last Assassin's Creed you guys played properly? Not just played in
3.
passing, played and completed.
I was
Black
so
Flag.
mad at the ending of 3, I gave up on the whole franchise right then and there. I
Black
renounced
Flag.
Assassin's Creed and I've never been back.
Well, you missed out on the best one because Black Flag.
Black Flag. That was 4, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, they had Unity and Side Scroll, I think.
They went China, then they went There was a Russia side scroll or India or something. There was two of the sides.
There was 3 side-scrolling games: China and Egypt. I don't know. It was like episodic.
Yeah, Unity and then Syndicate. And
So you didn't play any of those ones?
I played.
No.
I didn't play.
Didn't go back to.
No, I didn't. Finish.
See, I reckon I'm the same as Ben. I stopped about
So is
an hour into Walking Simulator that was Assassin's Creed 3.
3 was the worst thing that they could have done.
I thought it was all just people getting butthurt because it wasn't what they wanted, and I waited about a year and then I got into it and I was like, yeah, this is an awful game.
Yeah.
Apparently it picks up later, but I didn't make it. I should have gone back for 4, but I was just too burnt out. I think now I'm actually ready to play an Assassin's Creed game again, as in I want to play an Assassin's Creed game again, because 1 and 2,
Really?
I love those games. Oh yeah, I really love them. I love the shitty combat everyone whinges about. I love collecting the feathers. Really? Oh yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was just
The combat ruined the franchise for me. What I thought was fun about the first was running away and being an assassin and not engaging in combat. In 2, from the moment they made 2, you're OP as anything, and you can just stand there and fight and draw as much notoriety as possible. Where's the secrets? Where's the not being recorded in history for starting a 500-man death
I
pilot?
put the posters down so no one knows what happened.
Oh, that's true.
Did you not?
That's what I hated about number 1. So number 1, I thought was a beautiful framed thing. What I didn't like was that the research you did leading up to an assassination, because back then, in number 1, you were an assassin. Like the core of the fucking series, you weren't a noble who discovered his father's legacy and all that shit. You were an assassin. You were paid to assassinate people, right?
Yeah.
Which is what an assassin
Part of the
is.
secret sack, you go out and kill, you don't ask questions.
Yeah, but the problem with 1 was that you did all the research and you learnt little bits and pieces, and then it made no difference whatsoever to the actual assassination. At least in Assassin's Creed 2, the way you performed the assassination... Hang on, sorry, 2 secs.
Oh man, what happens?
My Audacity's just crapped out.
Oh no.
Is it still recording?
No, I'm exporting the file now. It's not recording now, but it was recording.
We'll take a short commercial break.
We'll be right back. 40 of those minutes was the 3 games you played.
Yeah, I know. I told you it would take a while.
Looks like I'm out of hard drive space.
Sometimes I can't believe you used to work.
I'm still not quite used to using a Mac.
It runs with
Empty trash. That ought to free up a bit of space. It's got a whole bunch of...
Alright, do you want to hear the comments from the stream so far?
Yeah.
I love anime waifu 69. Hey guys, Beetlejuice lover, sup baddies. Then waifus. Haha.
Wait,
Alright.
hang on. Which part is the comment and which part is the username? Is the comment about Beetlejuice, is that the username or is that the comment?
Beetlejuice lover is the next person.
Okay, and what did he say?
Sup fatties.
Sup fatties.
Then
Alright.
I love anime waifus has said, haha, I know right, they are fattened up. Then Beetlejuice lover has said, him has never had. I'm not sure who these people are. I don't know why they're spying on my personal life, but...
Look, man, you can't get internet famous without making a few enemies. So, troll, I don't know.
Holy crap.
Right.
Sorry, it's still exporting. It's got another 1.5 minutes left.
Oh, can you laptop? Seriously.
No, I'm just making sure I capture what we've had so far so that...
No, but for the next podcast.
No.
Maybe use a Windows
That's
PC.
your homework,
You have
Dave.
a perfectly good computer in your office. You're probably in the garage again, aren't you?
No, the computer's
Three
right
lips now.
beside me. I've also got two laptops right beside me
Why?
running Windows.
Why do you choose to use the worst of all the devices you have with no hard drive space to record podcast?
Actually, here's the funny thing. I actually don't know how to check how much hard drive space. I can't see where to see
On the
my
Mac?
local drives on a Mac.
Is it in the Finder somewhere?
Oh, shit. I've still
Don't
got
you just
Windows
say-
installed on.
Don't you say, "Hey Siri, free up some space for me"? Isn't that how you use?
Hey Siri, delete yourself.
Hey Siri, delete Cloud.
Ah,
Oh no,
make
Siri,
it cry.
no, stop this.
I just deactivate. That's funny.
Yeah, I've got when you say the H word, and then Siri after it. Yeah.
What's the H word?
Hey,
And who do you say that to?
Google.
Navi.
Kind of handy. It doesn't accidentally go on.
If I had a pet horse whose name was Siri, and I sent you out to feed it, holding the food that it would eat, what would you say as you approached it with the said
Recording
Do you
again.
want some apples, Siri?
food? Oh boy.
How about some molasses?
Hey, do you guys want to do a how do you want to resync this?
Hey Tim, when you're
Say
editing this,
the time.
remember.
How about we all count down 3, 2, 1 together?
Hang on, I've got
Alright.
to win. I've got to clutch this match. Okay. So, yeah, just do another 1, 2, 3, I guess.
All right, I'll count down from 5. When I get to 3, you guys go 3, 2, 1 with me, okay?
Okay.
5, 4, 3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Ben,
And we're back.
you have ruined
Good friend
everything.
Dave.
You have literally
Um,
ruined everything.
Dave was in the middle of a rant about something. And we will now resume with Dave's rant.
No, he won't, because Dave can't remember his rant.
Okay, so the other games that Ubisoft mentioned was obviously Assassin's Creed Egypt, speculation of boat combat. The only screenshot we've seen, 10-minute boat, like the movie thing. So, it's
Can you
growing.
recruit slaves?
Maybe you are a slave. Maybe you're trying to. Maybe this one will have aliens again because aliens built the pyramid with us. We don't
They're all
know.
meant to
We
have
don't know
aliens.
much.
We don't know.
I'm not
much.
sure that taking a year off is really going to get me back into Assassin's Creed. I think that's pretty.
No.
pretty- They would have to do something different with their standard formula.
Hmm. I was playing the franchise for the stupid meta story that went nowhere. That they
That
tease
they
slightly in every
finished.
game.
Mm.
Yeah. If they did something amazing like that, that would be the only way to get me back in. But given that the movie that was meant to tie into the universe sucks so bad I didn't even want to go see it,
Oh no,
I'm
really?
not interested.
Hang on.
Yeah, that's
You
part of the
didn't see it?
continuity. No.
So
Then how do you
don't-
know it sucked?
Does it look like it sucked?
It's
I don't
Fassbender.
eat eggs,
He doesn't
that's
suck
not
at
bad.
anything. He
Yeah.
even almost made Prometheus look good.
It's George Fassbender. How could you not go and see?
George Fassbender. Look, unless he's a mutant or higher, I don't spend that way.
Well, that's
Not very
interesting.
quickly,
I saw the
yeah.
movie. And
Fassbender.
it was okay. I wouldn't say terrible. I wouldn't say rush out and see it.
Well, then it stands
Anyway.
to, yeah. Only Warcraft and Angry Birds have made good game to movies.
I don't mind the Resident Evil.
And the first Resident Evil movie.
Anyway, the other thing that Ubisoft has announced was The Crew 2, which is kind of surprising because I didn't think The Crew did overly well. Kind of so open world racing game.
My brother
So,
bought it.
I
I drove
have,
to Amish country.
I have.
I don't
two,
think your brother buying it is enough to make a
Yeah,
company
Save
financially viable.
I have 2 copies or 3 copies of it. I think on.
There you go.
Xbox and
Tim's the
PS4.
one
It's,
behind
pe-
you.
it's people like you, Tim.
I didn't pay for a single one. They were
Okay.
free. They were free on every platform that someone's paid. So
Wow.
anyway, they're making a second one. So my question is, what is the point of E3 if we've got all these kind of announcements coming out early? Like,
Can I take the floor to that one?
Well, it's a question, so I'm not
Okay.
going to answer it.
They're gonna announce Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 6, 7, whatever they're up to, 4, 5.
Ubisoft is
No.
going to announce.
No,
Skyrim.
Ubisoft don't matter at E3. They show off South Park, and that's the only good thing they do.
No,
put them
what's their
aside.
name? Bethesda are
We're
too
gonna
busy
see-
announcing bloody Morrowind under misleading advertising.
What?
Oh, really?
Have you seen all that? Yeah, the Elder
No.
Scrolls Online now has Morrowind,
Yeah.
and they did this
Oh,
whole
that's amazing.
marketing campaign on buses and bus shelters and stuff like that. And it had all this stuff about the new Morrowind and all this fancy graphics, and you could just see all the fanboys going, HD remake of Morrowind, and
I
all that
love
sort of-
a world that's just a mud swamp with a volcano.
and mushrooms, giant mushrooms. And then yeah, it was the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. Anyway,
Oh. Well, look, they could announce it. They might not.
Nah.
That could happen. We probably see Kingdom Hearts 3 properly, finally, maybe. Who knows? And they'll let people play Mario Odyssey, and people go away being like, Nintendo's done it again! And
I
E3
don't know.
would be the best we've had in years because of those 3 reasons.
I reckon that Tim's onto something there. I think the days of E3 as the forerunner event for announcements
Well, now
is
the public
becoming
can
a
get in.
thing of.
So
Well, I think it's becoming a thing of the past because
Yeah, I agree.
people want to control the marketing and the release too much. Nintendo have shown how they do that
Well-
with their Nintendo Directs that
Yeah.
I never watched.
yeah,
There's no reason to hold off for an E3 type event
Well,
for an
that's the thing,
announcement.
like,
Really, you
if
can
you've got-
showcase everything you've got without it.
if you've got shareholders and stuff, you need to be accountable. Most of these announcements come off the back of it. They don't necessarily need to say, "Hey, here's a working demo," or "Here's, an alpha build." They just have to go, "We're making this, and this will make you money," and then you have confirmed announcements for this game.
We're making a new game in the Prey franchise. And then the investors are happy.
Yeah, look, this E3 is going to be different because the first time it's open to the public. So I've been listening to a few
Yeah.
podcasts, and the general feeling of E3 is if you're a press, you don't feel bad pushing in front of people because you're all press.
Fair
You're all there
press.
to do a job. At an event like PAX, the guys I was listening to, they're like, kind of feel bad pushing in front because other people have paid money to get to the event. It's a public event.
Yeah.
It was E3 was a trade show, and now it's not. Now it's a. I mean, what's the difference between it and the showcase for a lot bigger? It'll be interesting.
Well, simple.
To see,
The name and the type of event has evolved.
It'll be interesting to see what the public opinion from those who went is. Like,
Mm.
I waited in our 3 hours in this line.
Yeah, it was crowded and I didn't get to play anything.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll do a free podcast.
Are we seeing the Scorpio there? That's surely going to be
A built
Xbox
version?
focus.
Um,
Yeah.
I would guess
Surely.
so because they're developing the developing units out, whatever they are. And everyone's gone on about, it's got this screen that shows an FPS counter on the front of the console. And they confirmed
Really?
that'll be in the final. Yeah, they confirmed that'll be in the final build.
Wow.
It's not just the
That's
SDK
the
one.
feature gamers want these
Yeah.
days.
They want to see their FPS.
Not
Yeah.
game, because they want to
'cause
have
no-
a little number that fluctuates.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the thing. They've
no-
still got
nothing-
nothing compelling to make people buy a Scorpio. Like,
This is-
Forza
oh, man.
7 or whatever come out and it's not enough to move units. It's not a Zelda.
Scalebound or higher. That's
Well,
where I
okay,
draw-
that's interesting you mentioned that because Microsoft renewed the trademark for Scalebound.
Yeah.
Now, the question will remain who maintained the IP, I guess. Like, so with Dead Island,
Platinum off?
well, with Dead Island 2, for example, Jaeger were going in the wrong direction or whatever. What they still wanted. And so, they took them off and then, Twitter. But as far as I know, the Silver still have. They own the Dead Island IP, and I believe they own whatever work Jaeger has done up to that point. Not that anything coming to that. So, who knows? Maybe Microsoft's holding onto it for whatever reason. They'll release it one day, but it looked like a relatively big game. I don't know. It's hard to
I was
tell.
interested
I was interested in it.
No, I was going to say I'm always interested in the sales aspect of that sort of thing and where they take account of IP and work completed on a game and what happens if they retain IP but sell the company and you know what I mean?
In that, in other news, Square Enix have said that they want to sell IO Interactive, who are the makers of Hitman. So I don't think anything has been confirmed yet. But that's going to be the question with Hitman. Does IO still own Hitman?
Well, they're if you've looked at their tweets, the tone of them is, I guess you'd say, quietly confident. Like they've posted in response that, well, they've laid off staff, but Square Enix, sorry, have announced that they're selling the parent company of IO, which is Eidos, is it? Yeah.
Oh, really? So it's Eidos Montreal, who also did Deus Ex, didn't they?
I can't remember, but that's where it gets confusing because I think when they bought Eidos, they grabbed certain franchises. I think, from what I read, I think they're only selling IO, but I don't know. They're saying that Hitman is running at a loss, which it may well be, because I know a lot of people are fans, but fans don't necessarily make for a profitable company.
We knew it was at a loss because that's why they went episodic and had all the ridiculous stuff.
Well, here's the thing. So IO in their tweets have said, "Oh, it'll be interesting. We'll just have to." They're basically saying we'll have to wait and see what happens with this sale thing. In the meantime, don't worry. We're working hard on season 2 or 3 or whatever they're up to.
Right.
So that's sort of, if that's the case, you'd imagine that either A, they're trying to self-own publish, which I doubt they can buy Square Enix out of that, or they've got someone else lined up. But either way, you'd think they're retaining the IP.
Yeah, they kind of got nothing without it. But the other side of that is, well, they built the engine for it too. So then it's who owns the engine. Because they could very much, let's say they lose the Hitman IP, they could go and make, Assassin Man and just keep the same engine and have the same game.
A James Bond game is what they need to make with that engine.
I don't know, it's interesting. I mean,
there are way too many variables and not enough info to really make an educated guess as to what's going on. But it's very interesting. If you go and look at the tweets from the company, they're either under.
We do.
Well, they've either got someone in charge of PR who's very good at making the company seem positive, because a negative company in a company where everyone's failing, and where Square Enix are saying, what was it, 4.5 billion yen or something, they were reporting the loss. Like, that's not really going to help when you're trying to sell something. Yeah. You're selling a car and going, this is a piece of shit car. I've sold off the tyres. I'm going to retain the ownership of the model of the car, but you can have it. It's a piece of shit. It's running at a loss. It won't make any money. But give us $1 million for it, yeah? Cool. Sweet, brah.
That's how you say it.
Yep. That's why I still haven't sold the car. If anyone would like to buy a 2006 model...
that's... We got anything else to say, man?
I want to talk about one last thing.
It depends what it is.
So I just want to mention Divinity.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Yeah, hang on.
Yes.
All right, and we're now going to go to a segment hosted by Ben. Hi, Ben. Hi. What do you have to say, Ben? Well, let me tell you, Ben. Divinity Original Sin 2 the much beloved and awaited Kickstarter game that I backed is coming out on September 14th this year on PC first. I think console might have a later date. The exciting thing about this that they just showed off in several live streams that went for several hours is they've added the Dungeon Master GM mode to the game. So you can have four human players playing as the party members and one person controlling the entire game. They have control of maps. They can customize like lighting and what's on the map. They can customize monster mobs that spawn, story boxes. There's a way to make little cutscene vinaigrette kind of things to fill in details of stuff that happens. The person controlling the game can play as every NPC in the game against the party members. He can react in real time to their decisions and stuff. It's pretty much the most promising looking mode of this kind that's ever been put into a game. And that's coming out.
Neverwinter or Neverwinter 2, I think had a similar thing to GM mode.
I think Neverwinter 2 had GM mode, didn't it?
Yeah. This looks like they give you a lot of tools to play with and have control over.
Sounds like a mix between RPG Maker and an actual decent
definitive system. Yeah,
I'm guessing that they'll have, you can then export your adventure.
Yes, you can share it on Steam's SourceForge thingy,
so if
whatever
you're
it's called.
creative like myself, you can play through other people's campaigns
download
and
packs.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So that's really exciting because that was their final Kickstarter goal. And with Kickstarter goals, you're always worried. Yeah, this company has promised a lot, and so far they've delivered everything. They've added cool classes. I've played
when does it come out?
Early access. September 14th. I played the early access that came out
early access last year.
Yeah, and that was just single player, but it was really good. I played the first game, and the first game's amazing. Well, okay, we haven't seen the final thing, but streamers have played it, and all the game reviews are like, "Oh, it's the best thing ever."
First things
it's just
first,
like D&D.
you said they've delivered on all their goals, but they haven't delivered on one of their goals.
Well, they've implemented them into the game. All right, this is opposed to Kickstarters that are like, "We're gonna make a '90s arcade racer," and then they turn around and they make a side fighter Streets of Rage game. It's one of the more successful Kickstarters.
Your facts have holes in it. Your segment has no intro music.
All right. Clearly, I'm the problem with games journalism.
You are. You are the problem with everything, Ben.
Please don't back me.
The other day.
My parents did not deliver with the promised product that they said they would make when they took money from all the relatives. Apologize. Please enjoy this. Oh, actually, can I end on a fun piece of trivia that I learned today? Do you remember Peter? Hey, Red Dead 2's been delayed, whatever, it'll come out eventually. Peter Molyneux, our dear friend Peter Molyneux, the world's greatest game designer of all time. Remember, most trusted, most promising. Do you remember his little app he made where you had to tap away at a cube, like millions of people were tapping on a cube? No, before that. He did this social experiment, it was an app. If you got to the center of the cube, you won an unbelievable prize, and the prize turned out to be the winner got to become a game developer for his company. He would get a share of the royalties of Goddess and go and work for them and stuff and be consulted and make decisions about Goddess. Goddess was never finished and never fully was implemented. So that guy had 1 tour of the facility, never got royalties, never got to be involved in the project, and he was given like a bundle of games on Steam as his prize to apologize for that.
They made
hilarious.
They would have made money because it was on early access and you could buy Goddess. So
yeah, I played it at Peter Molyneux's direct bequest when he emailed me and we had a conversation. It was the worst game I've ever played. It was so bad.
I did play it.
Well, what do you expect when that's his hiring method for program designers?
I didn't even hire him at the end.
Well,
it worked for Willy Wonka.
He didn't hire him.
Charlie was good value.
Yeah, but look at all the snotty kids he had to go through in the process.
That's
Not
true.
worth it. Not worth it.
That's true. So that's it for this week of Another Dungeon. Hope you enjoyed it, Randall. If you did enjoy it, why not listen again next week? We can be found at these places. Whooshka. We're on Whooshka. Did you guys know this? We're on Whooshka. We're on the Podburst Network. I don't know. Do you want to? We're on Whooshka. We're on the Podburst Network. Tim, help me out here. Where are we on? Where are we at?
No.
Add Another Dungeon on Facebook.
Add Another Dungeon.
On Twitter. We're on Facebook.com/Another Dungeon. anotherdungeon.com/YouTube, or without the YouTube for our regular articles that haven't been posted in months.
Yeah,
What else
today
do
with
you
the
want to
latest.
promote, Tim?
Twitch.tv/dungeon
If you want to watch Tim play CSGO,
or the podcast, that's pretty much all.
Yeah. check us out live next time. Who knows?
And if
what
you
we
want to
do.
subscribe, Tim, to the Hungry Jack's birthday club, the email address is podcast@anotherdungeon.com.
Wait, what does that get us?
Don't I have to share that with Ben?
On your birthday, if you can go in and prove that you're a junior, you get a free small fries.
Thanks, Dave.
Prove that I'm a junior? Is a junior
Well,
the same as a
prove that
minor?
your
younger than a
name's
minor?
Another Dungeon. You also need
Right,
ID
okay.
for a parent to prove that you're Another Dungeon.
That I'm another dungeon.
Alright.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that the ID in your hand? That Mega Man light?
Yep.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and join us next time.
See you then.
Bye. Stop.
Oh, I
Export.
forgot to advertise the ARMS weekend. That's alright. It's a free. You can play ARMS for free this weekend.
No one
I
cares about
honest-
arms.
I honestly don't understand why there's hype for ARMS.
It looks
Um,
really good, and really fun.
What episode are we up to? 47?
47. Looks like a good old fun time fighting game. You can play with your mates.
Yeah, nothing about that looks like it will appeal to me.
Injustice
Just
2
a-
is a good old-fashioned fight.
DC. Oh, did you hear the crazy news about the DC
Oh, shit.
Justice League film?
The what?
Zack Snyder, the director of such wonderful, bright
Mhm.
comedies as Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel, his daughter committed suicide. He's off the project, and Joss Whedon is now taking over the Justice League.
Holy
film.
shit. Isn't
Yeah.
he meant to be working on the new,
Batgirl.
no, the new, Firefly?
Don't tease
Is
me
that the
like
old sci-fi TV series?
Yes.
The
No,
one
no,
that
I'm
cancelled and
I'm not
everybody cried
teasing you,
about,
that's-
And then everyone wants
No,
to
that's
come back.
legit. He really is working on bringing
No.
it back.
He's not.
Yep,
He's not.
he is.
I can't,
He is.
can't
Dave.
open my heart up like that, Dave.
Dave, you're a liar.
That's mean. That's cruel.
Look online. Where is it?
Dave, Dave, you're a liar.
Don't hurt me like this, Dave. I can't. I want to believe, but it's not X-Files. It's Firefly. It's not coming back. Never coming
Man,
back.
some of the Fox is funding it.
Why would
No.
Fox?
I don't
It's
believe.
Sci-fi. Why would Fox?
The problem is that Fillion doesn't want in. They're having a bit of trouble. They're having a bit of trouble getting the guys because Fillion, I don't know, because he's got so much else going for him right now. That's why.
Does he?
Isn't he?
He
Nathan?
didn't
No,
get
he's
cast
got
in the
nothing
Uncharted
going for him.
film.
Okay, so it's
I
been
don't think it's
14
been
years. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Did you guys hear that the Uncharted film has been reworked and it's going to be about young Nathan Drake and cast Tom Holland and have nothing really to do